right, welcome back to After the Scales, presented by DJD Graphics. I'm Shaun Blight of Canadian Racing Tours. Along with me, as always, is Jacob Dove of Phenom Motorsports. And joining us today, getting ready for his season debut with the ACT Tour at New Hampshire Motor Speedway from Saint-Joseph-de-Beauce, Quebec, RAPHAÉL LESSARD. How was that for my grade 9 French?
It was great. Very good.
All right. Thanks for coming on, man. I've wanted to have you on for quite a while. You're one of the most accomplished young Canadian drivers that we've got going right now. So you got a big race coming up on the weekend. Tell us about getting started with a new series.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this year. Last year the last 2 years we've run the ACT Quebec series mostly, and we won 2 championships. Last year was a great year for us. New car at the beginning of the season. It worked awesome. We had some speed everywhere we went. So this year we thought with my team, La Rue Motorsport, they've never ran the full ACT tour in the US. So I think the timing was perfect to do it. The car is good. My team is doing a good job, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job too. So I think it was the right timing to do it, and so we're up for the challenge this year. We're starting this weekend at Loudon, New Hampshire.
Yep.
So first race of the year with the biggest racetrack of the year, so that's a lot of fun. It's gonna feel fast the first few laps, but I'm really excited. Never been there with that car. We don't have any notes really, but I think my team has got me a pretty good car for this weekend.
And RAPHAÉL, going back to February of this year, you were down here where I'm at in Florida, my neck of the woods at New Smyrna Speedway in the Pro Late model. Just talk about that. You had some struggles with the car. Just try to get the best results that you can. Kind of walk us through to start out the year in the late model.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to go back to Florida to race Pro Late model. Pro Late and Super are some of the most fun I've had in a race car. They're so much fun to drive, especially Super Late. But running the Pro Late at the World Series of Asphalt in New Smyrna was great. It was a good time, but it was fun to be at the racetrack in February for us as a Canadian. We're usually in 5 feet of snow, but to cut the winter in half and go spend 2 weeks in Florida was great, but we just didn't perform like we wanted to. It was an older car that I didn't run for a while, and I thought it was going to be pretty good, but for some reason we had some engine issue at the beginning of the week that put us behind because while we were working on the engine issue, we never worked on our setup. So that put us a lot behind, but then after that we just couldn't find any speed. We find some stuff on the car and the chassis that was not great, being an older car. But I think we haven't announced it yet, but I think we're gonna switch up to a newer chassis for the next few races that I'm gonna run in a Pro Late model.
So the ACT Tour, for people who are my age and older, will remember that they used to race at Cayuga and Mosport here in Ontario.
Yep.
And I remember, Junior Hanley, Kevin LePage was an up-and-comer at that point before he went on to the Busch Series. So they came back a few years ago. They mostly run Quebec, Vermont, New Hampshire, New England area. So we don't really get to see them a whole lot. Tell us about the series and what you're expecting this year.
Yeah, so the cars are a lot different than what we're used to seeing. Usually like down south with the Pro Late, Ontario, New Brunswick, they all pretty much run the Pro Late model. So the ACT, the difference is 8-inch tire, a little bit less horsepower, and you can't run any bump stop, and you're really limited on the shocks you're allowed to run. So it's a little bit harder to adjust, I would say, especially because there's more rules. So compared to a Pro Late model. So yeah, they're a lot of fun to drive because even when you're dominating a race, you're still kind of sliding around and trying to look for grip. So it's as a driver, it teaches you a lot of discipline and how to adjust a race car that is not perfect all the time. So it's a lot of fun. But this year with the ACT Tour, we're running 15 races. There's 3 races in Quebec, and all of the others are, like you said, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. I think we go to Massachusetts and Connecticut once. So it's going to be a lot different than last year, the last 2 years. And Quebec, we're going to Autodrome Chaudière once, Autodrome Montmagny, and Sainte Croix, Riverside Speedway. They just repaved it, so I've never been there. It's an hour and a half away from my home, but I've never raced there because the asphalt was too worn out. But this year they just repaved it. It's a big 5/8 of a mile, I think. So it's gonna be pretty fast and pretty exciting.
And going into this weekend at New Hampshire, you said that you're going into it with not much notes. We've seen the NASCAR series run there over the years, even the wheel and modifieds. What are your expectations and how you're preparing going in? Trying to get as much laps and experience as possible.
I think it's just you try to put your mind to make laps every day in your head, pretty much the way I prepare it and watch videos. But the key there is you pretty much have to start in the top 10 to be able to hope for a win. You look at the last few years, everybody that won that race started pretty much up front. So usually, if you don't qualify good there, it's really hard to get back to the field because there's so much that plays on, like the aero stuff, the drafting on the straightaway, the side draft, everything. You get aero tight behind people, so sometimes you might be trying to pass someone, and you're like 10 car lengths ahead of the next pack behind you. But if you lose too many laps trying and too many times trying to pass somebody, you're just slowing yourself down, and then all of a sudden two guys catches you and passes you. So you gotta make everything you do, you gotta make it quick. So you can't spend too much time beside somebody slowing both of yourself down. You gotta make passes happen quick and then drive away. So it's gonna be a tough race for sure, especially with the aerodynamic part of it that we don't see usually in the ACT car.
Yeah, it's I've been to Loudon twice just as a fan, and it's a beautiful facility. I love the track. It's a lot faster in person than it looks like on TV. It's got those big, wide, sweeping corners, but they're very technical. As far as the cars go, like on a 1 mile track, is there any kind of different engine or gear? Is there anything you got to run for that? I imagine it's going to be pretty hard on equipment compared to running some of the smaller tracks.
Yeah, I think you got a rule for the gear ratio, depending on what engine you're running. But it's pretty much the same thing as other racetrack. I think you got to add some braces on the body just to make sure it doesn't fly off. But yeah, it's just a momentum track. You can't, your car's got to turn because you can't get tight in the center of the corner and lose all your momentum because the straightaway are so long that if you lose, if you pick up the gas at half a car length later in the corner, it's going to make a huge difference in miles per hour by the end of the straightaway. So everything, you got to calculate everything, and which makes it fun, but at the same time, it's really hard. You got to, if your car is not very good, you're going to lose. Like, it's not like if a quarter mile when your car is not very good and you're 2/10 off. Now at a racetrack like that, if your car is, you're struggling in the corner, you're going to be like a half a second off, because the straightaways are so long, and it makes such a big difference if you can just pick up the gas that much sooner than the other guys.
And going back to the past, it seemed like not too long ago, Raphael, you were racing in the Craftsman Truck Series with Kyle Busch Motorsports and that number 4 truck. Talk about your experience racing for a guy like Kyle Busch, and you're a very accomplished racer in NASCAR. how that came about. I didn't really know about your past experience racing until I saw you running in the Truck Series and getting that Covenant win at Talladega in 2020 and the challenges during the coronavirus.
Yeah. Well, first of all, when I moved down south to race, I started racing with David Gill and Racing. He was starting his own team in the super late model. And my first year with them, I won the championship, and I was always battling with the 51 super late model. That was Kyle Busch's car. And that's when Kyle Busch saw me and started talking about me a little bit and wanting me to drive his car. So in 2018, I ended up driving a super late model all year, and we had lots of success, a lot of speed everywhere. I started working with him. We would go test at some places. He had his car, and I had my car, and we would compare data. He's a machine. It was so much fun learning from him, and he wants perfection. So he taught me a lot about the way he drives and the way you gotta see races and react during certain situations and blah blah blah. Adapting is the biggest thing he taught me. Adapting to different situations. But after that, 2019, I did 3 races for him in the Truck Series, and 2020, the COVID year, I did the full year in the 4 trucks, in the NASCAR Truck Series, and I had a lot of fun, but the timing was not right for me, especially because of COVID. It just hurt us a lot because I didn't have that much experience on big racetrack, and every racetrack was a new one for me every weekend. No practice, no qualifier, no experience in the draft. It was it took me a while to figure it out, but by the end of the season, I was starting to pick it up. But I think it would have came a lot sooner if I could just have had the 20 minutes of practice. But it was I learned a lot that year, even if it wasn't the best timing and everything, but it got me to a point where I could adapt really easily. And these days, it almost seems like I don't need practice. I go to a racetrack, it's a new one, it takes me a lap, and I adapt really quick. And I think that year really taught me that and got me better to a point where I could just, I wasn't stressed out about going to new places. I'm just, all right, we'll go with the flow and we'll see how it goes.
All right, so Raphael, I want to ask you about your win at Talladega then specifically, because no matter what happens in your career, no one can take that away from you. First off, what's that experience like as a young kid running the short tracks around Quebec and Ontario, and then you get on the high-speed monster that is Talladega and to get a win there?
It's a dream come true. Everybody wants to win there, but the most special thing is when you get on the racetrack the first time. You're like, oh my god, this thing is so wide. It almost seems like you can be 10 car wide entering the corner, but it's super fast. Like I tell people, everybody is asking me, how did it feel? Did it feel super fast? How was it? And I'm always like, if you look at the racetrack and you're focusing ahead, it almost seems like everything is slowing down, and you can think about everything. But if you look at the fence right by the wall, it goes by so fast that you can't really look at it because you're gonna scare yourself. So you just gotta keep focusing ahead. But it was a lot of fun, especially the green-white checker we had. I was sitting in 3rd place, and I just told myself I'm not lifting unless I'm crashing. I'm gonna hold it wide open no matter what happened. And it was kind of a chance of a lifetime for me. So I just tried to hold a steady wheel and be nice and smooth and just hold it wide open. That's the only thing I did. And I had Ben rolled in my rear bumper that was lifting me up on the backstretch the last lap, and I just held it straight and was trying to be smooth with the wheel and to not spin out. But it was a very special day.
Now, Raphael, would you say, you've been having that experience in the past running with NASCAR, and now this year running with the late model. Would you say maybe given the right opportunity that your goal might be to get back in NASCAR if the opportunity comes about, or are you pretty content with getting experience with the late model and maybe making a career out of that?
I mean, I'm pretty realistic guy, so I would love to go back in NASCAR and Truck Series, or maybe try Xfinity Cup one day. But it's such an expensive sport, and I don't come from a family that have lots of money to spend in racing. My dad had success with his businesses, but it's nothing like some other kid's dad can put millions and millions of dollars every year to develop themselves into getting into a Xfinity or Cup at someday. So the last few years, I haven't had to use any of my family money. It's just been from sponsor or team that have allowed me to drive their car. So that's been a lot of fun, and I've been working on for my sponsor XPN on some other project on the side, and so I'm working full time, and racing is just a plus during the summer that I can, because it's the thing I love to do most. And I just feel like I'm really lucky to be able to do this much without spending my own money. So I'm just really, really happy with the sponsor that I have now, the teams that I'm racing with, and everybody that around me. And maybe one day, we'll never know, maybe one day I'll get a sponsor that wants me to go back in the Truck Series. So we'll see. But like I said, I'm pretty realistic guy. So if I end up running and winning championship out here in the late model, I'm fine with it as long as I'm having fun and doing what I love and winning. That's what I have to do.
Yeah, I feel like anyone that's followed NASCAR knows that especially you're running that even that GMS truck. Like, saw you run really well. You're a guy that's got talent. Everyone can see that. It's just so much of it just comes down to luck and getting the right opportunity at the right time. And, you have funding issues with the team. You've got another owner that I think ended up getting charged or something in your last ride or whatever. And you're a part of this young crop of young Canadian drivers. I don't want to just limit it to Canadian drivers, but not many Canadian drivers get an opportunity like you got. And we're seeing a lot of young guys, Trayton Lapsevich, Kyle Steckley, guys you raced against. Any advice you have to younger drivers coming up that are looking to get those kind of opportunities?
I mean, they have to focus on what they're doing on the racetrack, but they have to also put a lot of time and effort on what they're doing outside the racetrack. Building relationship with sponsor, building a brand of their own with social media and stuff like that. That's what sponsor look at. When I approach a sponsor down here in Quebec for my racing, usually what they ask is, how is your social media? We want to see how many views you got and how many followers and stuff like that. So it's kind of they really they have to think about that side of thing almost a little bit more than the driving part. So I think they really got to focus on building a brand and trying to build a relationship at a young age with some sponsor that might follow them along their full career. But it's hard. I love seeing Kyle Steckley, Trayton Lapsevich, what they're doing. They're kind of doing the same thing I was doing with super late model stuff. And I hope it works out with them. I think they have a pretty good sponsor behind them, and they're pretty talented. But maybe one day I'll be able to go back. But right now, I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing. I got a sponsor that I'm working with during the week, and he's spending a lot of money to help me race during the weekend at the same time. So I'm enjoying it.
And we wanted to take a moment, whether you're an American fan of RAPHAEL or a Canadian fan, to go up to the top corner and scan the QR code that will take you to RAPHAEL's shop to help support them. Obviously, we always talk about drivers' merchandise and helping giving back to the racing community. So definitely check that out. And you touched on some things, RAPHAEL, that I wanted to mention about sponsorship and supporting your racing career, and that's XPN. You're wearing their hat, and polo shirt right now, a supplement and energy drink company based up there in Canada. Just talk to how they're involved with you. I'm a big energy drink and supplement guy, so I want you to talk about, because we don't have XPN down here in the States. So maybe talk about it in English, and then maybe take a moment to talk to your French Canadian fans as well in your other language.
All right, sounds good. So XPN started. We started a partnership when I was driving with GMS. The last year I did in trucks, the last 5 races, and when I came back because of funding problem, I came back in Canada and I started racing late model. And XPN, the owner, said that, well, it's even better if you're racing in Quebec for us, because we're all over Canada. We're really in United States. So when I was racing trucks, he just did it to help me out. But his visibility he needs visibility in Canada. So it's a supplement company that's been in the market for 20 years. They make their own supplement. They make everything in Quebec City, and they're pretty popular out here in Canada. They're one of the biggest brands, and the owner loves racing, so it's a lot of fun to have him part of my career. But with the deal with the energy drink, when he started the energy drink side of thing, it was just to put in gym, just for people that works out before, like a small pre-workout that they could drink. And it turned out that I drinked it, and I was like, man, I fell in love with that drink. And me and my buddy that we call him Babu, we were telling the owner of XPN, we need to bring that to the market, like a gas station, grocery stores. So the owner just told us, if you guys help us make it happen in gas station, grocery store, get it to another level, both of you gonna give you a percentage of the everything that sells, so you can get your sponsorship a little bit bigger. So that way, every time we get more sales, and every time we get the business bigger, my sponsorship gets bigger. So that's how it works with XPN. So usually sponsorship in racing is the other way around. So the company gives you money, and then you try to bring them business and visibility. And now it's, if I bring them business and we sell more drinks, I get a bigger sponsorship. So it's a lot of fun, and he loves racing. He's with me every time I go race every weekend. He's following me around. So it's a great company to work for, and they're some of the best in the business. And the energy drink is right here, the Burn X. So it's no sugar, no calories, and there's lots of amino acid in it. So it's really good for your body, and a lot healthier than most of the competition.
All right, we got a lot to go over, Raphael. I'll maybe get you on another time, because I could talk racing with you and everything that you've done in your career to this point. But before we let you go, I do want to wrap up with our DJD Gear Rapid Fire segment. I've got 10 questions for you that I'm going to fire off to you, and you just answer them the best you can, all right? First things first, who are some of your racing heroes growing up?
Jeff Gordon and Kyle Larson.
What's your favorite track that you've raced at?
There's a lot, but I would say Darlington was a lot of fun.
And what's the favorite race car that you've driven?
Super light.
All right. What's a type of race car that you haven't raced yet that you'd really like to try? And it can be anything. It can be
probably a Willen Modify or the Dirt Super Late model.
Okay, I like that. Which racetrack that you've been to has the best food?
Damn, that's a hard question. I don't know. Out here in Quebec, we got the poutine.
Yes.
So the French fries with cheese curd and gravy. And you guys don't have that. So I would say probably Montmagny and Autodrome Chaudière
All right. I got
for the poutine.
a poutine question in a little bit. We're going to circle back to that. What's a race that you is on your bucket list to win?
Snowball Derby.
Oh, nice. What's your favorite song that pumps you up before a race?
It's hard to tell. Probably like Welcome to the Jungle or something like that.
I like that. Some of your favorite things to do away from the racetrack?
Well, during the winter, I love snowmobile. And I enjoy working out too. I try to work out every week to always be in good shape. You never know. It's always good to stay healthy.
All right, so we're coming back to poutine. So I'm from Ontario, so I have it. Jacob doesn't. What is the best kind of poutine? Because you see all these different flavors now, these different concoctions. Are you a traditional guy, or do you like to mix it up and put other stuff in there?
I need more protein, so so I usually put ground beef and chicken, sausage, and bacon sometimes. So it's a pretty heavy poutine.
Yeah, I like those like the pulled pork.
Yeah.
I'm a big.
I mean, they're all good, but sometimes I just start adding stuff up, and it gets to a point where I'm like, "What am I doing?" But it's good.
All right, last one for you. So Darren Dryden is a buddy of ours. He sponsors our podcast. He famously spotted for you at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park when you're running the trucks there.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember him. Yeah.
What kind of grade would you give him on a scale of 1 to 10 for how good of a spotter he is?
Well, he did good because we finished ninth, I think, and I didn't have that much experience at that time, and I can't remember what corner it was. I think it was 5, probably before the long straightaway. But he did a really good job because the trucks was in one piece. And spotting at a road course is pretty tough because you're not inside, outside clear. You're right side, left side. So I think he did a great job.
As long as I was afraid if I asked that question and right away you're like, oh, that guy, he really messed me up. And as long as you're not being remembered for something.
He was terrible.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Raphael. Thanks for doing this. Good luck this weekend. Is there any way people can stream the race if they can't make it in person? Do you know?
I think it's gonna be on the Racing America.
Okay.
.com. Yeah, I think there's gonna be some races on Flow Racing also this year, but that one I think is Racing America.
Okay, so check that out on Racing America. Hopefully the weather is better for you than it looks like it's going to be in this region.
Yeah.
And good luck this year, man.
Thank you very much for your time.
After the Scales is proudly presented by DJD Graphics. From commercial and personal vehicles to racing bikes and cars of all makes, models, and disciplines, DJD Graphics can fully customize your vehicle to suit your needs. For more information, contact Darren and visit his website at www.djdgraphics.com. Tell him Shaun and Jacob sent you to receive special rates.